Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dissecting Dance, Kicking It with Rand podcast, the podcast that opens up discussions about topics in dance. The goal of this podcast is to allow dancers and non dancers alike to think about dance from new perspectives, as well as leaving room for discussion. Enjoy the show! Hello, everybody. We are back in pre show mode again to let you all know that this is part 2 of this episode about competition dance and learning all the things about it. Before we start part 2, I just wanted to share out the same disclaimer as we did in part 1, just so it's on both episodes. Here we go. So, disclaimer. This podcast is about leading discussions about multiple aspects of the dance community. I would like to highlight to my audience that being a part of this community of dance enthusiasts means that we will listen openly to whatever is being shared. All experiences shared on this show are valid. Any retaliation pertaining to anything that Carly and I say will not be tolerated. If you are unable to respond in a meaningful way, that says more about you than it does us. And that being said, this disclaimer also is towards me as well. So it's something I live by. Any sort of experience you share with me is valid. I accept whatever experience that you've had and how you've been affected by it. So the expectation is mutual, that you show us the same respect as I would of you. But yeah, I hope you all enjoy part 2 of this episode. If you haven't seen part 1 already, feel free to come back to this episode and listen to part 1 first. Thank you and enjoy. This is going to lead us into the juicy stuff.
Great.
I want you to get into I'm going to give you both questions, and then you can take it as you will. I want to hear how being a competitive dancer benefited you, whether it would be, as a dancer, as a person, as in your professional career. I don't even know if you have one yet because you're in college, but we'll count it.
Womp womp.
Or you can say in your college career. We'll word it like that. And then some of the cons of being, I'm going to say growing up, because you still grew up as a professional dancer. Pros and cons. Go.
I'm going to start with the cons just so we get the negative Nancy stuff out of the way, because I think even though that's going to lead us into the juicy stuff, I don't want to be a negative Nancy the whole time.
Totally.
The biggest con that I can think of growing up in competition is, there are cons, and now I'm blanking. I'm like, what?
Period.
This is gonna sound so bad. It got annoying. Competition can be very annoying for anyone of any age, but when you are 11 years old and you're dancing once, you don't go on stage until 11:45 a.m., but you have to be there at 7 a.m., and your awards aren't until 9 p.m., and you're far away from home, but not staying in a hotel. Those are the worst. And sometimes if you have multiple dances, they're split up by 4 hours. It's very difficult to do your best when you're not able to stay warm and dance back to back, which is what I prefer. And when you are not, you might be really good in the morning, and then worse off in the afternoon. And that might be the dance that you were the most excited for, that you had to work so hard for, depending on you as an individual. So the cons are, it is a hard adjustment, and every competition is different. And also, and that's going to lead me into one of the pros, because one of the pros is you learn to work on your feet like that. You're quick. But the other con, and I think this is probably the biggest one for me, very Dance Moms core, the parents talk about you, and the cliques are real. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I first,
That's not good.
It's not. You don't talk about someone else's child. I rehashed this with my mom a couple weeks ago too, because it was just funny. it's funny now, but at the time I was like, why are you talking about me? I'm literally 11 years old. There was a girl on my team, and her mother was so angry that I had only been at my studio for a year before I got invited to compete and to audition. And then I moved up the very the same year, essentially, because of the time the auditions were. So the same year that I competed on one level for the first time, the next month, I found out after auditions that they were moving me up immediately. This girl's mom was so angry, and she tried to play it off like it was a funny joke every time she spoke to my mom in like the lobby of the dance studio while they were waiting for all of us to come out of class. She was essentially worried that I was going to take her daughter's place. And my mom was always like, she's literally just here to exist. She's here to work with your children, not against. She's not. If she's a threat, that's because you see her that way. But I was not there with malicious intent. I just wanted to dance. Mm-hmm. And my mom just wanted me to dance. My mom was a dancer. My older sister was a dancer. She quit dance the same year that I switched to a private studio. And that's just what I wanted to do. I wasn't there to scare anyone, but the parents talk about you, and they're like, they have no qualms about what they're saying. They don't care. They don't care if the kid hears. They don't care if it hurts their feelings. Like, I don't know how much of the Dance Moms stuff was scripted, but you do get insulted by the parents sometimes. And I never cared.
Period.
I never cared because whatever, but there was this one parent. Take this however you want, because even I don't know how to take this. She said to my mom one day, she said, Kim, that's my mom. Kim, I love to watch Carly dance, but I hate when she's on stage with both of my daughters because I never watch my own kids. I only want to watch yours. And I was like, what a strange way to word that. I'm flattered. But what? That is insane.
That's just so out of pocket, too.
It really is. Like, those are your children. And they were beautiful dancers, too. I was like, do you need your eyes checked? What? It was so... I just remember being so taken aback. I was like, oh, I'm gobsmacked, flabbergasted, jaw on the floor, tongue rolled all the way out to a pie on the windowsill. Like, I had no idea how to respond to that. That was so many years ago. So you have parents that say really out of pocket stuff, but you also have parents that'll kind of, make your parents miserable. And I was like, why are you doing that to my mommy? Like, what?
Why?
Why are you doing that? So those are probably the worst cons. Another con, it's also going to kind of go into a pro. So I'm going to switch gears.
Okay.
Picture this.
I'm picturing.
It's a classroom in like a public high school or sometimes a community college. And every single female that is competing at the competition today is sharing that one classroom as a dressing room.
Oh.
There's nowhere to walk. The whole room smells aggressively like hairspray. You're choking when you walk in. Half the girls are naked. We're changing. You're nude. Think about that as an 11-year-old. How uncomfortable. You're packed in like sardines. And somewhere out there on the World Wide Web, because I'm pretty sure it was a Snapchat, which they never leave. Somewhere out there on the World Wide Web, there is a picture of me and two of my friends laying down on the carpet in the back corner of this classroom, asleep on top of each other, trail mix hanging out the mouth, watching High School Musical 2. we got picture sniped by another one of our friends. Because you're so tired and everything is very, like, it's a lot. It's too much. It's in your face. There's nowhere to go. And we were just take naps on the floor. So the con is you're packed like sardines. And it can be very uncomfortable. But the pro about that means you learn to work with that type of stuff. So that when you get older and you're like, oh, I have a quick change in the wings, there's nothing wrong with it. It's part of your job.
Oh, yeah, it's part of your job to get naked in front of people. And
it is.
Normal people would look at that and be like,
Huh?
I
mean, I've had my pants fall down on stage before. Like in a recital, because we're very, don't touch your clothes. Don't touch your clothes.
Oh, yeah.
And
if we touch our clothes, we have to restart the dance.
Yeah, it's
all
illegal.
over again. Yeah, no, if you pick a wedgie, like, you're done.
Literally.
Like, you're done.
You're done for. My pants were falling down because my studio loved to do this thing to me where they would order me a size too big because they just assumed.
And no.
Because this is auditory entertainment right now. I'm not massive, but I am a little chunkier. And they would just assume that instead of wearing like a large, I would need an extra large. So all my leotards looked like I had a load in my pants because they were way too big in the butt and in the torso because I'm very short. And I had pants that were way too big and they started to fall down and I'm like front and center in this tap formation.
Oh, cute.
And my pants start to slip and I gotta grab them and pull them up real quick. But I almost let them hit the floor. I almost let them cover my ankles.
In an emergency, I'm like, okay, like, pull your pants up. Like,
oh, I was a professional. I was 13.
Just do a, and you guys are missing the visual, but do a 3-step turn.
Oh, a 3-step turn to pull them up.
Let me just
tricks in the book.
Let me just choreograph a little pick of the wedgie.
Yeah. Like, because if I don't, my whole cheeks are out.
Oh, yeah.
Butt glue. Great invention.
My studio has always, and I'm first. Well, actually, was this all of your pros and cons, or?
Yeah, that was one of the biggest. I think that's the only pro. It's so hard for me to think about it. There's so many more pros and cons. I just can't think today.
That's okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It happens. You can. You're always more than welcome to come back.
Thank you. I would love to.
Yeah.
Let me say it like this. It is a very fun experience looking back on it, but sometimes in the moment it's very stressful. Mm-hmm. And you don't always have as many good days in competition as you want to. And for us, because we did so few competitions, I had more bad days than good. Mm-hmm. So I didn't feel like I danced my best, except for this one time. There was one time.
Where you... Hey everyone, just wanted to let you know that I have an Instagram account now. My Instagram is Dissecting Dance with no punctuation, no spaces, no caps, none of that, just Dissecting Dance. You can follow me on Instagram there for the most recent updates on episode releases. Thanks everyone, now back to the show. Okay. Sorry, you gave me a hand gesture and I don't understand it.
Oh, just I was like, go on, continue.
Okay.
We can get into that one time a little later. I feel like that's a great note to end on,
okay.
Actually. Because it was one of my last competitions.
Okay, great. We'll get into that. Okay, I guess this is like another part of like what I'm curious about. So my studio has very consistently across the board, for the most part, been very conservative when it comes to what the dancers are wearing on stage. Like, you're ready.
Oh, yes.
So just to give you an idea, and I don't know if we talked about this outside. We probably did, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We yap a lot.
We do yap a lot, and I love every second of it.
Same.
But it was a standard that you know, if you're only wearing a leotard on stage, you are wearing tights.
Oh, for us too. Same. Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
When I remember when I first saw that on Dance Moms, I was like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, jaw on the floor, tongue rolled out to a pie on the windowsill. It's steaming. The window's open.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like, I couldn't even imagine, like, not only on stage,
Are
right?
your cheeks and flaps not out? Like, I'd be terrified.
Oh yeah, like I get terrified in a bathing suit. Like,
Yeah.
don't even get me started.
I'm terrified in a floor-length skirt.
Yeah, I don't wear those anymore.
Oh yeah. That's a story for another day.
Oh yeah, but
Next time.
I didn't even mean for that joke to come out.
It
like,
was so good though. Sorry, audience, you don't get to know about that one.
But if you go watch some of the shows that I guested in, you'll hear all about it.
Shameless plug.
Shame, absolutely, and the other hosts will appreciate the plug.
Yes.
Yes, and so.
Can I
Wow,
ask?
that
Sorry.
really was so. I
It
didn't
was
even do that
so
on
good.
purpose.
Can I ask you a question?
What a crazy concept. Yes, you can.
Were midriffs forbidden?
Oh, strictly forbidden.
Same for us.
I recall that there was only there was one dance that I was not in. This was at my studio, by the way, where there was it was for I don't know if it was for a company dance or if it was a modern dance. I don't remember, but I remember that I remember we had this it wasn't a bra top by any means. It was like a halter top that went down to here.
Yeah.
Let me be specific. Above my belly button. Like a couple inches above my belly button for the listeners out there.
No visuals.
No visuals, I'm sorry. But why do I keep saying but? And then underneath, I don't remember what the bottom was, at all.
No bottoms.
Yeah, that's so conservative. I don't remember what the bottoms were, but I know that we wore tights. That part was fine. But I remember that specific teacher, she specifically was like, I want belly buttons showing.
That is Scandi.
That's and it wasn't even it wasn't we were mostly covered. It was literally two, and I can't even say R because it wasn't a dance I was in, and I would have probably been angry at showing my belly button.
Yeah.
Because I feel naked.
That's so funny because we were talking before recording, and I literally was telling Ren that I had a professor tell me that I can't show my belly button because it's me. Remember that part where I said I'm a little chunky? Guys, it's me. There was mesh over it too.
That's crazy. What do you mean? What do they want you to do? Not have a belly button?
Yeah, I should just get rid of it.
Just pull it out.
What if I had two? Can you imagine how offensive that would be?
That would be incredibly just cruel for
the audience's eyeballs.
According to
that person.
Yeah.
And probably many other people there. Yeah, no midriff.
And I want to get into that part because it really, people are like, oh my gosh, self-expression. How can I express myself? It's for your protection.
Yeah.
It's protection.
That could be a whole other podcast episode. Dance. We had a rule in my studio because we changed locations multiple times because we had to upsize, downsize, the whole 9 yards. I was with them for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot can happen to a business in 8 years. And when we upgraded to a bigger studio, we were in a little business park, and we had floor to ceiling windows in the front studio and in the front lobby. And we were not allowed to open the blinds ever when we were taking class because they were terrified for our safety because we wear leotards and tights. It was a rule you could not walk in or out of that studio without clothes on over your dance clothes. And we took that rule very seriously because it's for your own protection.
Protection is the key word here. Protection. I wish, like, and it's a great...
so sad, though. Sorry.
It really...
It's a great rule. I don't know if that's what you were to say or not.
Yeah. No, it totally is. I was just about to add on that, like... I mean, my studio is in a pretty, like, enclosed... Like, you have to, like, pull into a parking lot. And, like, it's not too much of a busy area. We never had that rule. We just had a very strict but we also kept our blinds closed. When there were blinds in the studio, like, either it was super hard to see in or we had blinds that stayed closed at all times.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was... They never mentioned if that was a protection thing, but my studio, we don't allow... I have a very distinct memory of a dance teacher of mine telling another student that she needed to cover up because she walked into class with a sports bra and shorts. Yeah. And it's like, first off, when she did that, I was like, ooh, she's going to call you out because it's a very clear rule. One, because if you're sliding on Marley and...
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah, like we do floor work. So if
no.
No. Do you want me to look at it?
Yeah. I think I hit that volume button at the bottom.
You're probably fine.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, let me just I'll check the
technical difficulties.
Yeah, we can hear you. You're good.
Oh, perfect. You might not want to hear me. So, for the audience, if anyone is wondering, why isn't that allowed? Blah, blah, blah. You wear tight clothes all the time. Isn't that inappropriate? Dance clothes are specifically so that you can see the anatomy of the human body. Because a lot of dance does not come naturally to the body, especially ballet. That's why the ballet, like, leotard and tights thing is very popular. It's for your safety. So I know it's contradictory.
Or I guess, like, form-fitting clothing.
Yeah, form-fitting clothing is for your safety, which is so contradictory to, like, what we're talking about, like, cover up, because that's also for your safety. But in class, the reason you do that is because the body's not made to move the way it does for dancers. That's why we train so hard for it. And if you are moving your body incorrectly, you are putting yourself at risk of severe injury. So the form-fitting clothes are very helpful for your protection because it allows your teacher to see what's going on with your body without asking you to take your clothes off.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's for example, like, just any sort of clothing and same with jewelry. Like, it's the exact same concept. Like, don't wear hoop earrings and...
There's an episode of Dance Moms where one of them loses an earring on stage, which that was not something my studio did. We were a no jewelry for competition.
We were too. Not for competition, but for our performances.
For performances, no jewelry, because I remember this. I don't remember who it was. It might have been Chloe?
She lost a hat.
She did lose a hat. Pink lemonade.
Yeah.
There is one of the girls loses an earring, and she was dancing barefoot, and they were, like, freaking out that she was going to step on the earring. Also, if you're partnering, your earrings can get pulled out, and you can rip whatever part of your body that the jewelry is in. So, very small studs. That's about it. It's for your safety.
Yeah.
And hair out of the face, unless it's it's involved in the choreography. Hair out of the face.
No loose clothing, such as a tulle. I just threw more shade.
More shade. Sorry. I'm not
either.
Sorry to the audience, though, because you don't get it. You can't see visuals, but this is a funny story. I was in one of those workshops that I was talking about earlier, and my hair is a decent length. It's pretty long. It was almost down to my butt.
Cute.
And I had it in a low ponytail, and I whipped my head around for something in our strength and conditioning class in one of those workshops. Hey, the whole ponytail got sucked into my esophagus. Hey, I choked on it.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Tell me that. Yeah, it was bad. It was gross. I was like, so hair out of the face. You need to be able to see. Mm-hmm. Also, your hair can get ripped out.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, owie.
Yeah.
I know you look so cool with your hair down, but please, for your safety, put it up.
Right. Let me tell you about the joys of modern dance with long hair. Because when I was little, I also had ridiculously long hair,
yes.
Literally like down to my butt.
Yes.
Like craziness. Now I look at my hair that's like down to my scapula and I'm like, that's too long. Like,
really? I look at mine, it's almost down to my butt in these pigtails. I've got bubble braids in and it's not long enough.
See, but I also prefer, my hair right now is, actually it's a decent length right now.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. But anyways, at the time when I started modern dance, which was around middle school, because that was when I started the company, and that was the requirement. Are you familiar with like X warm-ups?
Yeah, but only because of college.
Oh man, you don't know the studio experience.
I don't have the Studio X experience. I didn't even know what the X was until college.
You basically just lay on the floor and you do stuff, but it's like productive stuff.
Yeah.
It's really fun at my
You're
studio.
mopping the floor.
Oh yeah.
You're productive.
Oh yeah.
You're mopping the floor. You're writing a grocery list.
No, but let me tell you, like the X warm-up at a dance studio is a lot better. Like you actually,
you do stuff. I don't mean that. I'm being dead serious.
I mean, you only know the college experience. Like,
yeah.
And
it was questionable at that.
Yeah. But trying to lay on your back for an extended period of time with your hair up in a bun.
That too.
Because I preferred my hair up in a bun because it just, when you're turning or moving, your hair just like chokes you, and it's like you said, you literally choked
on my hair. It hits you in the face.
Oh yeah, like when you turn, like you just get, like if you get
whipped.
If you put your hair, if you put your hair in a braid.
Oh, I was gonna say that. Braids are extremely painful because the second you turn, it's hitting you in the eyeball.
Mm-hmm. Low ponytail is always. I'm a low ponytail person now.
I also can agree with that. A low pony.
Oh yeah. A low ponytail with shorter hair for me.
You have this spot, like you'll find the sweet spot of your skull to lay on when you're on your back, and if your hair is not so far on the top of your head that you have a unicorn horn, it's on your forehead essentially, or at the nape of your neck. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, like you. Mm-hmm.
You know what? Maybe JoJo Siwa was onto something with that side ponytail.
Maybe she was,
because I feel like that would also be kind of ideal on the side.
That's true. I guess just if it's on your back, but if you're trying to go into like,
if you're trying to go in a side roll, forget that.
Oh yeah, like if you're trying to like curl up into a ball I'm trying to loosely. I was gonna say
the X.
I was gonna say fetal position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you're familiar. Okay, good. Yeah, if you're trying to go from an X into fetal position, or ball, as I like to say it to the kids I teach. Yeah. Even though they know it as fetal position,
they are fetile themselves.
They are. They're baby. No, they're like 12. But
that's baby.
That's But when you're curling onto your side, it's like.
Yeah, JoJo Siwa, can you chime in? Can you tell us if it was like uncomfortable? Did you ever do the X warm up?
I doubt they have had any like modern dance experience. Like I don't know.
I've barely had modern dance experience.
Yeah, our studio like that. Yeah, but that's just me being a modern dancer, and
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Let's see if I have any more questions on my list of questions for you.
If not, man, I'll tell you the juiciest competition story I have, and then I'll tell you about the best day of my life.
We'll just go back and forth. And I want to know about, like, and you don't have to, this might be, I know you're pretty open.
I think I know where this is going, and I do have an answer.
Is it related to expenses?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, competition cost, like, a couple $100s a month. And there was a time when my mom repeatedly asked the studio owner for a breakdown of everything she was paying for. And it's been like 6 years and we're still waiting for that breakdown.
Cute.
My mom doesn't even pay for competition dance anymore. We never got a breakdown because the expenses got like a lot. And this is someone who was only competing like for 3 weekends out of the whole year. There are fees to enter these competitions. There's a fee for every dance that you're entering. There's costume fees from your studio. There's extra rehearsal fees. So one thing that really bugged me, and I think a lot of studios do this, I don't know, maybe they don't. I don't know why mine did this. And I'm intentionally not dropping a name because I do love my studio, but this is one thing that never sat right with me. We would order our costumes, and, you know, on dance websites, unless you are logged in as a dance instructor, you can't see prices on costuming. Ren is making a face.
What?
You cannot see the price of a costume to order it yourself unless you are logged in. And obviously, because I'm a dancer and I don't have any type of instructor login, I could never see the prices of my costumes unless I was, like, getting them through a completely different website. Or, like, a website that sells leotards and stuff that I'm familiar with. Oh, okay. I don't know if the people can hear me. Ren's plugging the computer in. So I could never see costume fees, but I did eventually see, like, a couple of them online because they would let me... I feel like I did log in with one of my instructors' logins, or I was using their computer to scroll through something they were trying to show me for solos once or something. I don't know. Either way, these costumes cost about $50 to $60 each, and my costume fee for the month for each dance, every dance, it didn't matter if they were ordering me, this did happen once, a tank top from Amazon that didn't even fit right. That costume fee was $80 no matter what.
Per dance?
Per dance. Every costume I was putting on my body.
So would the studio, would you order the cost?
No, the studio would order the costumes and then ask for the money.
So basically, they were just overcharging you for one costume, is what I mean.
Yes, for every costume. So that got really expensive. And my mom wanted a breakdown because she was getting a little suspicious of, like, why is it costing so much? Are they overcharging? And she never got the breakdown. It's very expensive. I'm very grateful that my parents wanted to spend that kind of money on me and that we had that opportunity because it did do a lot for me as a person. Right. It helped me find my passion in life because that was the time in my life where dance stopped becoming a hobby and became something that I wanted to do as a career.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's expensive. It's very expensive.
Sounds like it. Yeah. My goodness.
Yeah. But that being said, do you have a question?
I do.
Yeah, ask away.
Yes, I mean, once the question comes back into my...
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It happens all the time. Like, it's not you. But I want to know more about... And I know you touched on this a little bit, but I just want you to emphasize again. How has being a competitive dancer changed you as a person?
I'm glad that was your next question because it feeds right off of what I was about to say.
Period. We're
so like, connected.
We're spiritually
We're sharing
connected.
The same brain cell right now. I don't know. I know you guys can't see, but it's actively hovering between us.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at it right there.
Yeah.
Like, there it is.
Purple and blue.
Cute.
Yeah. And sparkly.
Oh, yeah, you gotta add the sparkles.
Duh.
Absolutely.
So, competition helped shape me because it helped me to not really care about what other people were thinking, if that makes sense. So counterintuitive because I'm literally there to be judged. But we did this one competition. Can I name drop? It's very positive.
Yes. If it's positive.
It's very positive. There is a competition. I think they're strictly East Coast, but I could be telling a full-blown lie. So don't quote me on that. Diva dance competition.
Ooh, period.
They have a wonderful backstory as to how they were founded. And this competition gives live critiques on stage. You get critiqued immediately after you dance in front of the audience. So if your dance has an exit, you have to do your exit and then awkwardly walk back on stage to get your critiques.
Cute.
So, I I had one dance that had an exit while I competed with them. I went to them twice, and I did 3 solos between those 2 competitions. My very first solo ever. This was my most positive competition experience ever. Completely changed my life. It's archived on my Instagram, actually.
Period.
It was the first time I really felt that my family, I knew they were proud of me, of course, but my whole family had tuned in to watch. I had old dance teachers watching my solo because it was my first solo, and I received hundreds of messages just from people that I know in dance who I hadn't. That was a lie. It's probably 20 messages. I'm not that popular. I received so many messages about my headphone warning, sorry.
Did you see the bars?
I did. I did. So many positive messages about people being I'm so proud of you and whatever. Very classic competition. I did a very this isn't not to be gender specific, but there's an expectation of male dancers that they jump really high and they do a lot of really aggressive turns and leaps, and it's beautiful.
It's true.
It's true.
You're not wrong.
Very male ballet variations. I had a jazz dance that was very male based. It was very aggressive, and it was to Another One Bites the Dust. And that's a very overused competition
Was that
song.
the one? I think you showed me that dance, if I'm not mistaken. And we were like, oh my gosh.
Yes. So this was my first ever solo, and this competition and this panel of judges loved me. I got a special judges award for that dance, and I placed 4th, which means that I was a runner-up. I was 3rd runner-up for a title. And even though I never won first place or anything by myself on my own, I felt this sense of, oh my gosh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I was really proud of myself because at the time I was struggling with a very severe injury. And that was right before I turned 16. 15-year-old me was getting ready to have hip surgery. And it was a very stressful time in my life, and that was one of the last dance that was, aside from my recital, which I didn't really count that year because it was outdoor, almost COVID recital. This was 2021.
Yeah.
So to hype myself up, we're going to say that was my last formal performance before I had my surgery. And now, 4 years later, actually, my surgery date was June 29th, and it's currently the 28th. So tomorrow will be 4 years since that surgery. And I've had 2 others since. I haven't had the greatest experience with my hip health and my joints, but that competition was the last thing that I did before I underwent any of those procedures. And it was the best I've ever danced in my whole entire life.
That's amazing.
I told you I reached my peak at 15. And I've had days where I get really upset about that because I'm like, oh my gosh, I had so much going for me, and then, I had to relearn how to do a lot of things in my life. But it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to take away that experience. I was so proud of myself. My sister was proud of me, and she had been out of the dance world for a while at this point. Like, she had never been to one of my dance competitions, but she watched the live stream of that one, and then the following year came to my last dance competition.
Oh.
Yeah. So I had a really good time with that, and it taught me a lot about myself. Like, what I learned there is that everyone else really doesn't matter, and I don't mean that in a rude way. When you are doing something in the entertainment business, it's very important that you have your support system and that you do make friends and you make connections, but you have to fend for yourself a lot as well. And that experience specifically taught me that I can stand alone and be strong enough to do it on my own. And I was really proud of myself for, you know, dancing with a very severe injury,
which is impressive, by the way.
Like, it was bad. That's a story for another time, though.
Okay.
But and I had a duet in that competition too, and we placed again. And my duet partner also had a solo. We placed 4th, 7th, and 10th.
Nice.
So we were really proud of ourselves. Like, we were in 2 separate categories. So in the overalls, that's what we had ended up placing. And that competition specifically taught me that it's not all negative. It reminded me why I wanted to do it in the first place. That was my Dance Moms moment. I didn't win anything, but I felt that sense of validation that you don't always get in competition. And I think about that day all the time, and very narcissistic of me. Narcissist core, I rewatch that video of me dancing a lot.
You know, I don't blame you.
It just reminds me that, you know, I often watch myself dance, as many of us do, and go, ew, ew, ah,
Ew,
no good.
Gross, disgusting.
Yuck. I love to critique myself, and that is one of the only dances I have that I can watch and be comfortable with. Yeah, I fell out of my turns. Yeah, I had a leap that was really terrible, but I knew what I was going through at the time, and I got my legs up there. I got myself off the floor. Like, that was a huge accomplishment for me at the time, looking back. So that competition specifically, and I wouldn't have gotten there without the rest of that experience, without the rest of my competition career. That one competition was just incredible.
Absolutely.
And it sparked my creativity.
Period.
Yeah, because I went back to them. Remember when I said I did a burlesque solo? I did a burlesque solo to But I Am a Good Girl. It was so cute. I have that video too. Those are also on the World Wide Web. But you can't get into those files because they're password locked, and only my studio has the password. Actually, fun fact, because we're going to get into a little studio drama.
Okay.
When I did Another One Bites the Dust, everybody who competed that particular day, because it was solo day, had a solo. And we were supposed to receive our judges' scores. And the way competition scoring works is a perfect 300 is the highest score you can get in any competition. And I think they start you at 250. That's the lowest score you can get. I don't know why. I don't know how that works.
Huh.
But
that's interesting.
I am by no means as talented as the people on Dance Moms, but my score for Another One Bites the Dust was above a 295.
Ooh.
They've only ever given out like a perfect 300 once, I think, on Dance Moms. And it was to Liliana when she did the straight jacket dance, Straight Escape.
Yeah, maybe.
So
I feel like there was another one before that.
I feel like there was another one.
Because when Lily got her, when she got that award,
yeah,
she, like they immediately referenced something else. It was either one of JoJo's dances, because I think they did have a JoJo week.
Yeah. That was during JoJo Week.
Yeah, but I think they immediately referenced, like, one of the other girls, like, I think Maddie.
Yeah.
Who...
someone got another 300, I'm sure of it. But they said that my score breakdown, they were going to give us our score breakdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I knew my score was above a 295, and that was all they would tell me. They would not give me my score breakdown because there were girls that I was competing with at the time who were violently upset that I did so well. Like, I remember walking out of the dressing room hallway to one of my former teammates who was older than me and competing in a completely separate category. She chose to do her choreography herself, and she chose to pick her own costume. Meanwhile, I had my choreography planned out for me, and I picked my costume with the guidance of my choreographer. She didn't even place, sobbed in the hallway, and was throwing a fit that I placed higher than her in the overalls and that she didn't place at all. And she literally throwing a tantrum at 17 years old in the hallway. And I just walked away and I was like...
And how old were you?
I was about to turn 16, so we were only like a year apart. And
give or take.
She was livid. And they would never give me my score breakdown because they didn't want me to get a big head. So everyone else got their score breakdown. They got to have a one-on-one with the choreographers and the studio owners, and I never got a one-on-one. Or at least I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Everybody else got pulled out of class to get their score breakdown, and they never gave me mine.
So does your studio have your score breakdown?
Somewhere. And I'm really good friends with one of the owners. Like, she's literally one of my dance moms. Like, that's my dance mom when my mom can't be there. And she knows who she is. And I'm sure she could find it somewhere and tell me what it was. But I went back to Diva Dance, and I competed in 2022 with that solo from Burlesque, and it was really cute. And I didn't place anywhere near as high this time around, but I did another solo. I did a second solo because they sparked my creativity the first time. I'm a big rock music fan.
Period.
I tap danced to Shout It Out Loud by Kiss, and I painted my face.
As you should.
And I had a judge from New York City who... This is live critiques, so my videos have the critiques attached, and he literally picked up the microphone and he was like, I've seen it all now. I thought I had seen it all before working in New York City, but this, I have never seen anybody do this before. So I didn't place high, but I was memorable. And that, I think, means that's more valuable. That's what competition taught me. Be memorable. Because people always say this in competition. If you dance first thing Saturday morning and the competition is going on until Sunday afternoon, they're not going to remember you. They're going to remember everything that they just saw. So most of the awards that they gave out at that competition were Sunday related. Mine was a Saturday thing. And even though I didn't win an award at that particular round, I still placed high enough for me to be proud of myself. I would have been proud either way, but knowing that I came up with that idea, I approached the studio owner and I said, like, I have this idea and I know it sounds a little crazy, but I think it's actually going to work. I helped choreograph that solo, and that was my first ever time. That was my first ever actual choreographical, like, project. That was the first time I'd ever tried to choreograph for tap. And it was so fun. And my creativity, like, hasn't stopped since. And I think I have a lot of ideas floating around in my absolutely massive head of, like, unique ideas that I've never seen before. So that competition taught me, like, you know, be different, stand out. That's better than winning the award.
Totally. And I guess when I think about when topics around competition dance come up from someone who hasn't competed, working with people who aren't even remotely interested in the competition sphere at all, I think that brings up a really good point in that I think we see too much of like when I think about competition dance, I think about the awards. Like
people, you think about winning.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people who do competition dance think about. But if you're an intellectual, I mean that's what I think about. Is like there's just a lot of like cocky people out there who are trying to win and aren't really thinking about anything else.
But let me tell you something. If I were to put on, you get a participation pin for every dance that you do in competition.
Mm-hmm.
So I have platinums, sapphires, ultimate sapphires, diamonds, first choice, top first, gold, high silver. That's not a good award to win, by the way. I have probably, I can't remember how many dances I competed. I competed a lot of dances because I did competition for like 7 years, and we did 3 competitions, and there was like 4 dances per competition, whatever. I averaged like 3 per competition. So I had probably close to 27 pins.
Cute.
And I would put them all on my jacket that had my name on it in rhinestones. And I would strut my stuff into my middle school classroom on a dress down day because I went to private school. I had to pay to wear my own clothes. I would strut my stuff into the classroom with my competition jacket on. And I wanted everybody to know that I was a winner in my heart.
And that's what matters.
I never won, though. But it was about the winning. I wanted people to think that I was winning. That's why I wore the jacket so frequently. Now it's like, it's framed. My dad has my sister's softball jerseys framed, and he's in the process of framing my dance stuff. He's been in the process for many years now. So my sister has all hers on the wall. I have nothing. Just kidding, Dad. I love you. We got a special case for all of those pins.
Right.
Like, it's something to be proud of. Because even if you didn't do good, you made those memories, and it taught you something.
And there's a story behind the pins.
Yes. Like, I have a pin. I was 12 years old and dressed up like a dog, crawling around on the floor to Who Let the Dogs Out, and I have a pin for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's way too old to be dancing to Who Let the Dogs Out in a dog costume, by the way. The audience laughed, and I didn't like it. It wasn't supposed to be funny. That is, I have a story for every pin, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. And that's really what it's about. Like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what being a dancer comes down to.
Yes.
In general, like it's about looking at this piece of memorabilia, and that's what I love about pin collecting too.
Yes.
Off topic.
I know it's a participation trophy, but like, I feel so validated.
Right, and like, I think a lot about, especially like, you know, when you first start the choreographic process.
Yeah.
I very firmly believe that, and I am intentionally not making exceptions. You need a good mentor.
You do.
A very good mentor. Someone who is in a similar... Because the first piece I choreographed was my sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
Let me get into the lore. Let me add to the lore.
I love lore.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I was in high school, and this is the first piece I choreographed alone. Let me rephrase. I don't really think about anything else I've done before that. I just don't.
My mind is empty.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Let's be real here.
There's so many mini projects that I've been a part of as a dancer that I couldn't tell you the first time I actually choreographed alone.
Right.
The first time I remember it mattering, and not because like, oh, I wanted to choreograph for myself in the recital and they literally were letting me do anything at that point just because they didn't want me to be mad because I was mad at them by the time I was leaving.
You know, I was mad at my studio too.
Yeah. You get fed up at a certain point.
Oh yeah. Like,
but the first time I remember like actually doing choreography that matters was in college.
But I mean, that moment for me in high school was my first like modern dance that I choreographed, where I was like, I'm gonna challenge myself and do dances that don't necessarily involve turning, and
that's huge.
Yeah, like, so for me, and then I got that validation from my teacher, who I thought she hated the dance this whole time because she really wasn't giving me any feedback or anything. But I had someone at my studio, Lauren, who was on a recent episode. You should watch it.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. I really only give my attention to like the genuine people who have made a positive impact, and she was one of them. Yeah. She was a really good, like, she stood behind me, not literally, but she stood behind me during that process.
Yeah.
Not necessarily helping, but, you know, she helped with music, and she kind of helped me with, like, gather inspiration for that concept. And I think when you're choreographing, obviously there doesn't, like you said, there doesn't have to be a concept. But I always believe that in choreography, there has to be inspiration behind it.
Yes.
And you I
feel the same way.
Perfect.
I just wrote my artist statement, actually, because I just took a writing intensive class, and you learn this when you take like a dance writing intensive in college. Every choreographer that you can think of, if you're well versed in the dance world, even if you're not, anybody whose choreography you've seen that you like, they've struggled. They've hated a piece of that choreography. They've sat with it. They've just accepted its fate. They've hated stuff they've done in the past. They think they can do better. They've loved something they've done in the past and feel like they can never reach that point again. We all go through it.
It's so normal. It's very normal. But, like, you really need those, like, one of the things I will always emphasize on this show is the importance of good mentorship.
Yes.
Proper mentorship. And like you said, you're at your studio, you had teachers who believed in you and gave you these opportunities because they knew that you could do it. They knew you were capable.
Yes.
XYZ.
Shoot, I've been quoting them this whole time. Like, I don't want to drop names or anything, but like, if they were to listen, they know who they are. There are teachers that have made the biggest impact in my life. If I were to like see them in public today, I'd probably break down in tears because it's been so long since I've seen them. And that's for both rec and private studio.
Oh, totally, for sure. I'm lucky enough to be working with a few of the teachers that I've grown up with, and
that's awesome.
Like, I mean, it's like, first off, it's wild. It's you have to. It's an adjustment period.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, we're equals now.
Yeah,
that's insane.
It's wild, but that's like ultimately what it comes down to, and I think, like, teachers giving you that opportunity, like the way that they're like, teachers are like parents, like the way that they raised you in that environment, like I feel like it just contributes to who you are.
It does. And this is the people that your parents dropped you off to spend time with when you were a kid. Like, your recreational activities outside of school as a child, they do shape you into the person that you become. And I have so many, I'm sure you do too, so many fun and fond memories of being at dance class. Days where I was like I usually did, when I was younger, because I didn't have a life on Friday nights, I would go to school and then I'd go to dance class, and I was in dance class until 9 p.m. and then I would race home to watch the Teen Nick Top 10.
As you should.
And when I got older, they stopped giving me Friday night dance classes because I was almost an adult at this point, and they knew that I had things going on a Friday night. I had friends, guys. I know. And I would have late nights on Thursdays, and I would love it because even though I'd be so tired on Friday morning, I felt so accomplished. I got my longest day done. I had a great time at dance. And it's Friday. Like, I am huge on like dance as my release. That's also my stress relief. So I improv a lot. If I have a space, which I do, my basement's a great place for that because we've kind of, made sure that I have an area to kind of express myself, which I'm very grateful for. My parents have been lovely with this.
Mm-hmm.
So is my sister with sharing the basement because I need to be alone. There's very few people that have seen me improv because that's like my personal thing.
It's your time.
That's my time.
Yeah.
I love improv.
Oh, it's so fun.
It is so fun. It really is. And I always think about that one episode of Dance Moms where they had an improv part of the competition. And I was like, I wish I would have been entered into one of those because I would have killed it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the most confident when I'm improving. And I've forgotten why I started this. I think it was something about how the teachers I had gave me the confidence, and because they gave me that confidence, I got more comfortable being by myself and dancing by myself. Like, I don't have to judge myself anymore. And they noticed when that change happened in me because they were pulling my mom aside and they were like, what's going on with Carly? Like, she's a completely different person. And it's because I would spend hours in the basement just creativity pouring out of me.
Right, and that's also the whole thing of, like, you have that.
Yes.
Creative, like, you have that, like, you're, like, earlier in our, and we do have to end the episode, but
yes,
we'll end it eventually. But one of the things we talked about earlier, hope you don't mind bringing this back up.
That's okay.
Is one of the things we talked about was, like, I'm gonna just say the words rolling on the floor.
Yes. Yes.
I don't like this. That just came into my head, and I don't remember the conversation, but I wanted to loop back to that because when you do like an improvisation, it's like that's where you kind of catch your nuances.
Yes.
And
that's how I discovered I love floor work, was improving.
Mm-hmm.
I do love floor, but not floor is the whole dance. If it's going to be the whole dance, it's got to be interesting.
Yep. No, I like that. I like that a lot.
And everyone thinks something interesting is completely different than what the other person thinks, but, like, you can tell. There's a baseline that everybody can tell. That was boring versus that was art.
Right, yeah. And a safe improvisation, and I'm emphasizing safe, a safe improvisation space, because some improvisation spaces are uncomfortable.
Yes.
And I mean specifically, like, in high school, being forced to, like, do, like, an improvisation in front of a group of, like, cliquey people, for, like, and this is, like...
And contact improv.
Oh, yeah, that
happens, too. Have y'all ever been sat on by your teacher? I have. Ren, have you ever been sat on by that same teacher?
You know, I think we're talking about a different improv class.
Sorry. We both have taken improv, though.
No, actually, I actually think I had someone else. Now we're talking about college, but I know I have not been sat on by a teacher.
Look out if you're taking a dance improv class, because we're artistic people. Everybody's got their quirks. You know, we're all a little crazy. Let's be real.
Yeah, totally.
If you get sat on, this is just a warning. It might happen. It's part of the art. Sorry, continue your thought.
But I mean, high school is like a specific... I mean, what college taught me was to not care. Anyways, or not care about... That was my moment. Yeah. But in high school, I was a lot more concerned about that because I knew that in my high school dance program, I was surrounded by a lot of cliquey people, a lot of people who would very frequently hang out, a lot of people who would start whatever with each other. I've been stuck in the middle of more than one incident in dance alone. In high school, let me emphasize that. This was in high school. But
dance cliques never stop, by the way. It's a very accepting community. But there are cliques. Let that be known.
They do exist. They really do. avoid them.
Yeah.
Like, if you're genuinely passionate about your craft and now we're just sharing advice, but if you're genuinely passionate about your craft and you want to be able to expand out of, if you want to truly expand, you need to be with people who will help you do that.
Yes.
And when I was in high school specifically, it was and I had friends, by the way, who all hated, isn't that crazy? I had a whole friend group and we all hated cliques.
Rightfully so.
Like, we were all just kind of like, screw those people. But it was very difficult to perform in front of them. Like that, or it was very difficult to improvise, specifically in front of, like, people who aren't exactly welcoming.
I'm really glad you said that. Can I add something really quick?
Yeah, totally.
At my studio, and I was friends with everybody that I danced with at the time, and in fact, one of my closest friends in life, I literally just hung out with her last week. We went to the movies.
Cute.
Her and I met because our moms went to school together, and we met through competitive dance, and we brought this up in our conversation about dance because we always talk about dance when we're together. Even though we haven't danced together, she stopped dancing, and our lives have not lined up the way they used to in years, and we love to hang out and talk about dance. It's like glorious. We had this thing at my studio, and we did this for recital and competition. If the class was small enough to make sure you knew the dance, this is how I got comfortable performing in front of other people as solo. You had to get up and do the dance by yourself in front of the whole class to make sure that you knew the dance. That was one of the best things we ever did for me as a performer. It got me comfortable with making mistakes in front of people and not being perfect.
And that's good. You were also in, like, a good setting, too.
Yeah, it's a great place to practice it. You're very comfortable accepting people around you. That
just unlocked a memory. When I was little, we did something similar. Not like little, but instead of doing solos, they like split the class in half.
Yeah, we did that too. It's fun. I teach now and I do that with them. It was great for me. I don't know if it's going to be great for them, but I would hope that it could be.
I mean, you do it with good intentions.
Yes.
That they will improve.
And it's also great to practice being an audience member, because that's how you learn how to constructively critique dance. And you start to learn that from a young age.
Oh, yeah, totally. So we are very much at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I don't know if the final episode will be this long, but I might split it into 2 parts. I haven't decided yet. But we are at 2 hours and 6 seconds.
Whoa.
Good job.
Should I give one last little tidbit?
You should give one last little tidbit. Yeah.
The biggest piece of drama I ever suffered that was so Dance Mom's core in competition dance was I suffered an injury. It was a sprained ankle, but it was decent. I was supposed to compete. Do you remember when I said I dropped my hat on stage?
Yeah.
That was I was competing at that competition, and I know this was karma. I had an attitude that day. I was mean to my mommy. I'm so sorry, Mommy Kim. The next day in class, I slipped and fell, sprained my ankle so bad that I still have complications with it occasionally today. Like, I think I would have been better off if I just broke it. And I had another competition to do that season. I tried my hardest because it was over a month away to do everything right, to heal, whatever. And then I got the stomach flu the week of the competition.
Oh.
And we had a rule at our studio. If you don't come to the competition class the week of the competition, you can't compete. And I like that rule. I like that they honored that rule. But my competition class was on a Wednesday. I was back in classes on Thursday, and I was assisting my classes that Thursday evening. And I was the featured dancer in this particular group dance that we were doing at competition. And I was on the phone with the owner of the studio who choreographed the piece, and she was like, everybody says that you're not getting better and that you're not going to be able to compete and you didn't come to class. And I was going to make an exception to the rule because I know you. I know you've been working really hard, and I know you're feeling better, what's going on? And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I don't know what's going on. Turns out I was in a group chat with my team. I texted the girls in the group chat and I said, hey, I'm getting better. I can't come to class today because I'm still contagious, but I'm going to be in class tomorrow. Blah, blah, blah. They went and told the teacher in the room with us that day, who was not the studio owner, that I said I wasn't getting better, and they twisted my words, and I ended up getting kicked out of that competition. And then they had the audacity, because they wanted, the reason I think they did this is because they wanted the girl that was our swing dancer, because all 4 of us had been struggling with injury and health issues that year. So we had one girl who was a swinger for us. That sounds so terrible, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Or an understudy.
Or a sub. She would sub for us in class whenever we needed another body because we were missing one person or whatever. They wanted her to dance my part in this dance so bad. And they twisted my words and went to the teacher, and it wasn't her fault either. She didn't know. She brought it back to the studio owner. I end up getting kicked out of the competition. And then, this is my favorite part.
I'm ready.
These girls had the audacity. We were 4 people in a group. Our costume was 4 different dresses. They matched each other, but they were distinct. This girl who was our sub had to match someone else and get the same exact dress. So when she was taking my place, she had the audacity to ask if she could wear my dress so that she could be different because she was going to be the featured dancer now. And I looked at her and I said, no.
Aha.
And I sat in the audience and I supported my team, even though I knew what 3 of them had done. And I cried. But I was there to support my team. So the moral of that story, as Dance Moms core as it is 1, that actually happened. And 2, no matter how many times people walk all over you, you will be way better off. This is something that competition dance taught me, and it is a great life lesson. You are so much better off supporting the people that put you down, because you can never regret that. You might have moments where you're like, God, I really wish I didn't do that. Being a good person goes so much farther than your talent in this industry.
Right.
I don't care how talented you are. If you are not a good person, they don't want you. Your talent's a huge part of it, but you're probably infinitely more talented if you are a good person, because you more than likely have a good work ethic and you're trying. We get told a lot where we're from, our dance background, that hard work is not enough. Your effort is not enough. And coming from a space where you get graded on your dancing, you can work really, really hard and still fail the class. And that is what we have had drilled into our heads for years now.
Yep.
I formally and officially disagree with that, because even if your hard work isn't enough for the casting director that day or the choreographer, your hard work is enough for you. Thank you.
I'm snapping to that.
Mic drop. It's enough for you, and you are so much better off being a good person than you are being talented and being mean.
Period. Yeah.
And I would also like to mention that none of those girls dance anymore, but I do.
Aha! And that's the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
With the cherry on top.
The one girl who was on that team that had nothing to do with that, this obviously doesn't include her. I love her to death, and I miss her dearly. We don't really talk that much anymore, but we keep up with each other on social media. But every person that wronged me in dance as a child, like as a competitive dancer, whether their moms were mad at me or they got me kicked out of a competition or what, none of them dance anymore.
And therefore, none of what happened actually matters.
That too. What do we say? What is dance? What is dance not? That serious.
Period.
We take our craft and what we do extremely seriously, and we're very passionate about it. But at the end of the day, it's not that serious. That's the motto that I live by. I don't know how much you live by that, because you're in a different type of dance environment now.
I mean, I'm still definitely like a perfectionist to the core.
Oh yeah, me too.
You're right. They're.
Oh, I'm my number one hater.
Oh, totally. Or for me, I'm agreeing with you on me myself.
Yeah. No, you're my number one hater.
No, but the thing, I mean, I was just thinking about that within the few seconds that I was about to comment something completely different. But it makes sense because dance was never created to be competitive. It's not supposed to be an art form or a sport that is meant to put other people down.
Yeah.
It
was entertaining.
It's entertaining. People use dance, especially, well, I don't know if that's the case now, but in other cultures, people use dance to communicate.
Yeah.
Bees use dance to communicate.
Yeah.
They wiggle their adorable little behinds.
Yeah, they do.
And ultimately, I think that if you can come down to the core of why you dance,
yes,
that will ultimately transform you into, like, that is how you...
Yeah.
That's how you can improve, love dance so much more than you already do.
Yeah. If you really dig deep into the history of dance and the cultures that it comes from,
it's so important.
It is, and none of them were about judgment. So while competition is very fun, it's fun in games. It's all in good fun.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy competition is great. And I'm very grateful for my competitive experience. But, yeah, dance is not that serious.
Period.
And I hope that everyone listening gets what we mean when we say that, because we do take it seriously, but there is a different degree of seriousness that some people take it, and that starts to teeter on crossing the line.
That's where it leads to like the negative effects, like big one, eating disorders.
Yeah. Another big one in this industry, abuse.
Yeah.
So that's not what it's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
So if you can remember why you dance, like Ren said, and if you still love dance and you love why you dance, and it still means something to you, I think you're probably one of the best dancers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have your heart and soul at the center of it, and that is infinitely more valuable than somebody who can do a full back needle.
Yeah, or when you have that heart and soul, like any like ridicule or any hate you get doesn't matter. Like you're doing what you love to do.
Yeah.
You're not being pulled into a direction by people who...
No.
You're not following like a status quo or...
Yeah. And you get to pick and choose what kind of feedback you receive, and you also get to choose how you respond to it and how you take it. So if you can, I don't want to say like manipulate, but there is a way that you can make it all work in your favor and you learn something from it. And I think something else that's really important that my mom and dad made sure to instill in me growing up is you need to be confident, but you also need to remember that there is somebody out there who's going to be better than you.
Mm-hmm.
And they are not there to stop you. They are there to inspire you and to encourage you to work harder. And that's the complete opposite of what competitiveness kind of is. Don't make enemies, make friends.
Exactly. It just makes the experience a lot more fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the company that I'm in, is that, like, for the most part, we're all friends. Like, we all have our little, like, group, and we all... And that's something my director watched the episode with Liz Quinones. Hi, Liz.
Shameless plug.
How many of those have I done? I've
done enough.
Thank you. But that's like the other thing is that, she also screens people and makes sure that they're a good fit.
Yeah.
Like, as people. People first.
Yes.
And our company is very good, like, dance-wise, too.
Yeah.
So, like...
You are.
Thank you. So, that you all understand the point we're getting at.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect way to wrap it up. Dancers are people.
We are people.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're going to end the episode here.
Thank you so much for having me, Ren. I had a great time.
I'm so glad.
I'm so sorry for yapping so much.
It's okay. That you're supposed to yap. It's a podcast. But anyways, we're probably going to keep yapping for a little bit longer. You probably have to go.
I do have to leave soon.
But yeah, thank you all, audience, for listening in.
Thank you, audience.
And we will... I was going to say see you. I say this every time.
You won't see us, actually.
You'll
hear us, though.
Yeah, you'll hear us on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of Dissecting Dance Kicking It with Ren podcast. If you can hear the wonderful background music, those are water bottles. This is your sign that you should relax and drink some water. Anyways, a new episode will be uploaded every other Thursday. Thank you for watching.